up, people? It's College Football Hangover Podcast on I Live for Saturdays, the best college football channel on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at I Live for Saturdays, 4 as in the number 4. Like, comment, subscribe, and last night I had a big epiphany. And in life, we get epiphanies. It's really rare that you get one purely by yourself. You really need something to actually happen. When you get a great idea, and then people say, oh, it's just purely me. You know what? Most times, it comes from something else. Other things happen in life. Like, take, for instance, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. Great. Oh, he made one of the greatest things ever. Super smart, billionaire. And he is a smart guy. But his epiphany pretty much he pretty much stole an idea from someone else. Now, that's obviously arguable. But that epiphany for him came from another influence. And sometimes things just have to be shoved right in your face to finally be like, oh! And I'm sitting there thinking last night after the game, LeBron had his triple-double. He hits a three to seal the game, to seal the victory. And the whole game, obviously, I was amazed. And I'm just sitting there watching and I say to myself, LeBron James is probably a top 5 player, or at least number 6 player of all time. Name me 5 guys or 6 guys who are better than LeBron. What 6 guys, what 5 guys are better than LeBron? Are you going to go with Larry Bird? Really? You really think Larry Bird is better than LeBron James? Every time I'm taking LeBron James, if you're asking me Larry Bird or LeBron. And today I have with me Eric. Omar's still not here, but we should have a video up soon with him. But yeah, Eric also agrees with me.
Hey, what's going on, America? Yeah, you know what? We've been talking about LeBron for such a long time, and like many Chicagoans, I had a very deep dislike of LeBron, so much that it clouded my thoughts towards LeBron. I would say in the last couple of years, my thoughts have matured. I'm no longer just blinded by the fact that I just look at him and I don't like him that much, but his game is just unreal. Like, the way he plays, it's amazing. And I, spent a lot of time just kind of, hating and, dissing him because he was, 0 for 2 in the finals or whatever, making fun of him for not winning anything.
He didn't choose Chicago on the decision.
Right, he didn't choose Chicago, and I was bitter about that, And I just seeing him this year just kind of really reminds me again of why he was just, so great. Even for those Miami teams, some people look at those Miami teams and be like, oh, well, he did it with everybody else. And it's like, no, he's just an incredibly great player. And when LeBron was with Miami, everybody just kind of looks at those championships sometimes like, oh, well, he did it with Wade and Bosh, but his numbers were just unreal in those playoffs, and his efficiency, he did everything in his power to become the most efficient player, in the NBA. It was incredible. He was just finishing at the rim, at a very high rate, shooting 60%. Even, his threes were very selective. He shot 40% last year. The year before that, he shot 39% from 3. He's getting to the line a lot more. His assist numbers are up. And it was just incredible to watch. And it's been incredible.
And one thing that me and Eric love watching is efficient basketball. And we love efficient Rose. I think 2012 he was so efficient. Even in the playoff series, he was really efficient. And LeBron is probably the most efficient guy that we've ever seen, at least in our adult mind era. And watching LeBron, even though I'm obviously a Chicago fan, it's pretty amazing to watch someone be that efficient in basketball. You're trying to shoot a big old ball into a little net, and getting rebounds and assists the way he does is incredible to me. I'm so fascinated by that guy. So back to what we were saying about top 5, top 6 guys. Here's some of the guys that are considered always top 10, and I obviously consider as well top 10. Eric does too. Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, Wilt Chamberlain, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and obviously Michael Jordan. Oscar Robertson, you could put him up there as well. But, okay, let's go down right through it. Number 1 guy, Who is it?
Michael.
Michael, obviously.
We don't even need to go into that.
We really don't.
We're not going to waste your time here.
Wilt, arguably, what's the other one?
Well, Magic, easily.
Magic.
I mean, Magic's impact in the game.
So that's 3, right?
He's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm putting Kareem up there. He has scored the most points.
That's 4.
In the NBA. It's not even close. He won championships, multiple teams.
And then right here, this is the perfect spot. 5. Who you have in 5? Who do you guys have at 5? Was it Larry Bird? Is it really Bill Russell? You really think Bill Russell or Larry Bird is better than LeBron James? Tim Duncan, who is obviously a great player, crazy longevity, but if you look at his numbers, they really don't compare to LeBron. Shaquille O'Neal, who had a short burst of incredibleness, but the longevity is really not there. Hakeem Olajuwon, that is a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't know who I would want on my team, Hakeem Olajuwon, LeBron James, but I'm leaning towards LeBron James.
I think, like, for a long time, I definitely had Larry Bird up there, just because Larry Legend was just, like, what him and Magic just did for basketball was just fantastic to watch. I mean, Larry Bird in his own right, just a fantastic player, a great shooter, you know, and people are going to knock on his athleticism just because he's white, but he's a hell of an athlete because you can't just be a scrub and playing in the NBA.
At that level.
At this level, and, like, taking Magic toe-to-toe, we always talk about being a great athlete, but, like, what about Larry, you know? Yeah. And, you know, maybe a couple years ago, I would have still put him up there. But LeBron has just made this incredible run in the last 6 years where you just can't, like, not have him in that conversation. And that's really all you can ask for as a player while you're still playing, is to be in the conversation. Yeah. And he was definitely there for a while for me, easily top 10 since 2005 for me, you know, like, or 2006, I'm sorry. And, you know, he's, like, entering a stage where, like, nobody else has done. Michael never did it. He's going to 5 straight finals. And I know it's the East, whatever, but that's hard to do. And, like, you know,
no matter what.
That's in any sport. It's very difficult to do. You know, regardless of the conference that you're in, it's like, you know, or sport that you play, to go to 5 straight, like, opportunities to win a championship is incredible.
I could go into that a lot, but I do want to bring it back to Larry Bird. And Larry Bird, I've seen that guy play. I've seen films on NBA Game Time or in the NBA channel. It's awesome to watch him play. His IQ and obviously his athleticism isn't as great as LeBron. LeBron is arguably the best athlete we've seen in the NBA. You might argue, Larry Bird has an incredible IQ, and he did. If you watch him play, it's clear he had an incredible IQ, and he's obviously an incredible shooter. But to say LeBron James isn't at the level of Larry Bird in IQ-wise, and the way he uses his IQ and uses his knowledge and awareness and vision on the court, you can't say, Larry Bird just had the IQ and he was way smart. He's not. He's not that far away from LeBron. Arguably, LeBron is possibly smarter than Larry Bird in terms of basketball knowledge. I'm not saying he is, but you can argue that.
I mean, LeBron, you know, aside from we've been talking about his shooting and how efficient he is, but I mean, even his, like, assist numbers are just ridiculous. I mean, he's getting like 7 assists a game. You know, like, close to 7-8 rebounds. He's a triple-double waiting to happen all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, and something else we just wanted to, like, you know, talking about his triple-double capabilities last night. You know, we saw that.
So, finals preview, still game 4 tonight, Golden State versus Houston. I can't wait for that. And I honestly have loved this series, even though it's probably going to be a sweep. It's been very entertaining. Probably the most entertaining sweep there's ever been. But it's going to be Golden State and Cavaliers. And we were talking about earlier how, well, at least I was arguing earlier, how the pick and roll with Kevin Love and Kyrie taking the ball, LeBron sitting the pick, Kevin Love sitting in the corner, is the best offensive weapon. Forget the triangle offense, forget the Spurs. That is the best offense. And had Kevin Love stayed healthy and Kyrie as well, I think the Cavs whoop Golden State's butt. Eric doesn't agree. I think we both think Golden State's going to win either way. Now, since Kevin Love is out. But Eric doesn't agree with my pick and roll theory.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's not a great weapon, and it certainly is. Kyrie is just an incredible shooter and can just finish at the rack so beautifully. make fun of him for defense all you want, but offensively on those pick and rolls, it's just a great thing to watch. And Kevin Love is no scrub either. He's hitting that corner three. He knows how to roll to a basket. I just think the Warriors defensively, like, unlike anything I've seen recently, their defense can switch on anything. They're like exactly what the NBA is going towards, of like these like players that are all 6'7", 6'8", and can just guard every position. And Draymond Green is a huge part of that. Like, his ability to let them go small, and him be able to guard people like Marc Gasol or like Duncan or DeAndre or Blake. He can, like, you put any big guy, athletic like guy, or like any, like, like the stretch four, he's guarding that and he's stopping, like, he's shutting that down. And the really incredible thing about watching the Warriors is they go through these stretches where they will just completely take everything away from you. They, like, you'll want to run a pick and roll, and they won't let you. They'll, like make sure, like, Kyrie can't get there. They'll make sure the screener isn't able to, like, get to that position. They just take everything away from you. Like, if you want to, like, post, like, go, like, feed the big man inside, like, they're denying that. And they just do that for 3 or 4 minutes. And we've seen what Steph can do in just, like, a few seconds of offense. It's amazing. And their numbers with Draymond on the floor are just, like, unreal. Like, those, like, the points per possession is disgusting.
My take on all that, and I love the Splash Brothers, but what are the Splash Brothers going to do when LeBron guards Steph Curry? And that's even right now. That's even scary for the finals. Do you really think Steph Curry's going to get a shot off against LeBron? I think he's going to he will get 7 blocks a game. And that's a ridiculous statement, and I'm exaggerating. But I think LeBron is going to shut down Steph Curry. If he just goes straight up, he just says, all right, let Bogut, let Klay Thompson go off, let Draymond Green get points, let Sean Livingston get points, but I'm going to guard Steph Curry, and I'm going to block this dude every time. Here we go, me and Kyrie on the fast break. Or J.R. Smith on the fast break. That is scary, dude. The little splashy brothers, the little bubble bath brothers, what are they going to do against LeBron when he guards him up, mans up with him? I don't know. If they had Kevin Love, forget all the efficiencies. What are you going to do when LeBron is there? Last night, Jeff Teague has a wide open layup. He beat LeBron, but he's so afraid of LeBron's the glass block. He misses. That's how much of an impact. That's how great this guy. I don't think people realize how great LeBron is. He changed the Cavaliers in these playoffs. He's been excellent. Their defense has been excellent. When they need stops, they get it. They shut down the Bulls. We couldn't get a stop. We should have won Game 4. We couldn't get a stop. Well, we couldn't make a basket because LeBron was on the court. He changed the whole team and made them into a top defensive team just because he was there. Because he wanted to play defense. It's just incredible. And that brings us to our next point, the Bulls. To a sadder point. How they threw it all damn away. Eric, you take it. I don't even know what to start
I think we can, I brought a shovel to this podcast because I'm burying this team. This team will never win this core. I'm sure these players might win somewhere. This core of Joakim, Butler, Rose, and Tom Thibodeau, it's done. We're never going to see it happen. Like, for years we would talk about, like, the Bulls never get any breaks. Like, somebody's always gets hurt or the other team's always so healthy. Kyrie was out. Kevin Love was out. J.R. Smith was out for 2 games.
Limping.
LeBron being incredibly inefficient. For as great as he's been, like, Jimmy Butler did a fantastic job forcing LeBron to make poor decisions. LeBron did a lot of weird ISOs, a lot more than I think he should be doing, and didn't shoot very great. He's shooting 16% from threes, and he's taken a lot of them. He's taken 62 through 13 games. Give you some perspective, last year, through 23 games in the playoffs, he only took 82 three-pointers, and he made 40% of them. Yeah. And it's a shame. I'm saddened by it, but I'm also ready to move forward. I feel that Jimmy Butler is the future of this team. Jimmy Butler, Nico, and McDermott, I feel like can be the players you build on going forward. Derrick Rose is a nice piece, I'm sure he'll probably just stay around. But expecting him to go back to being an MVP is just unrealistic, and we shouldn't expect that from him anymore.
3 takes from the Bulls. 1 is an epiphany. 2 things. Number 1, and I got to give Tom Thibodeau credit all the world, and I love Tom Thibodeau. He is probably arguably the best, I think he is the best, developer of talent than anybody in the league. He took Joakim Noah to new heights. He's made Taj Gibson into a money grabber now. Now Taj Gibson's going to go out and get paid. He's faked his way up to the league. He's made Jimmy Butler into an all-star. He's made Tony Snell into a solid player. And I just got to give him all the credit for that. Other thing, and I've known this for a long time. Well, not a long time. Probably about a month now. The Bulls aren't going to win if Derrick Rose is our best player. It's just not happening. We need a big dude, a center, a power forward, point forward like LeBron, someone who is taller, someone who is bigger. What small point guard has ever really won? The closest guy ever is Allen Iverson, and he got his butt whooped in the finals. I don't see many small guards really, and I'm not talking about outliers. I'm talking about consistently. Can we consistently win with a small point guard? That's not going to happen. I don't see Derrick Rose winning it. Do you have someone?
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to see that upcoming here in the finals. I mean, Steph is 6-0 and can barely dunk.
Yeah.
But he also has a hell of a lot of talent surrounded by him. I mean, Harrison Barnes and Klay Thompson. Sean Livingston is a great backup. I mean, they're a great team. But I just don't think, like, the type of player that Rose is, you just can't expect to win with that.
And that situation also with Steph Curry is an outlier because he's such an efficient shooter, and his team is historically one of the greatest teams of all time. So that's a huge outlier with small point guards or small guys, small guards, small best players. And my last point, which we had an epiphany on I Live for Saturdays about the Bulls, and it happened at the final buzzer. Tom Thibodeau has a prehistoric offense, and he's completely inept as an offensive guy. And I think the love that we had for this team and the love for Thibodeau blinded us completely. But I guess it takes something to slap you in the face to realize, wow, this guy really never had an offense. There was never a time where any of us thought, wow, the Bulls are really efficient on offense. Wow, they really created a good shot. And I think you like his inbound plays of Thibodeau.
Thibodeau on an inbound play is incredible. He knows how to get shooters open for those plays and draws up really great plays. But the problem is they become so predictable. They run the same sets, and it's no wonder that they shut them down. Even when Rose was Rose and it was the player that we knew as the MVP, they were the 17th ranked offense. Let's not forget that, people. Even when we had Rose at his peak, we weren't even top 10. And that says a lot.
So last little subject. What do the Bulls do this summer? What are we doing? How does the team look like next year? Or fantasy thing.
Well, unfortunately, we are strapped for cash. We have a lot of money tied up to a lot of players. Rose is taking up a huge chunk of that. And no, he cannot take a pay cut before people start tweeting or asking, like, well, you should just take a pay cut. Like, this isn't the NFL. You can't do that. He's getting paid what he's getting paid. I'm really hoping that management is smart and they re-sign Jimmy Butler. Whatever the cost is, doesn't matter. In a few years, it'll be a very team-friendly contract with the way that the TV money's coming in and everything. That won't make a difference. I really think that they should just realize that you need to get something for Noah. You need to get something for Gibson. These players will not be here when you're making your next run, and you need to get something out of them. Noah's on the wrong side of 30. His knees are gone. And, as great as Thibodeau was as getting the most out of players, maybe he's good in that regard because he's getting the most bang for your buck. But look at what happened to Luol Deng. We're seeing it now with Noah. They just aren't the same players anymore. And for us to keep expecting for the clock to turn back, it's not going to happen with this coaching staff. It's very scary when you start talking about legs and big men, especially feet. And I just don't see Noah ever recovering from that. Gibson's ankles haven't been the same for the last 2 years. And get what you can for them. Restart.
I'm not going to repeat what you just said because that's pretty much my thoughts too, and you probably articulated better than I did. I'm not sure articulated is an actual word. But my fantasy thing, what I'm hoping, we bring in Jabari. We somehow work a deal to get Jahlil Okafor, have Jimmy Butler and Derrick Rose, and then we bring in Anthony Davis. Pure Chicago kids, and then Jimmy Butler as well. Just pure Chicago to just do it. If we just get all the Chicago talent, we'll have a championship team. I guarantee you. Let's do it. John Paxson, are you listening? Please, just do it, man. Get all the Chicago kids. I'll buy season tickets if you get Chicago. If the Bulls get Chicago, bring in Lance Stephenson. Is he not from Chicago, Lance Stephenson?
Oh, no, Patrick Beverley. He'd be a great backup point guard.
Oh,
but
and there's a lot more Chicago guys than you don't
there's a lot
realize.
of great Chicago talent out there. But I have a more realistic fantasy trade. I think it's pretty good. It involves Sacramento Kings, a few first-round picks, including their own that we have rights to.
Boogie Cousins.
Bring in Boogie. What if Gasol's not getting any younger, but we all saw how great it is having a post player. He can play defense when he needs to. He gets rebounds. I just think a great deal. We gotta match the contracts, obviously. So maybe we send 2 first-rounders, including next year's, the rights for their own first-round pick. Noah, maybe throw in Snell if you have to. Bring on Boogie. So let's get it rolling. Paxson, don't fuck this up like you did with Aldridge, all right?
Boogie 2015 for president, dog. Let's do it. All right, so...